what would you do if your mother-in-law invited your husband and baby to her birthday party, but took you off the invite list? This is after you bought the card, you bought the gift, you've been showing up to this family consistently for years, but she, on the other hand, has excluded you from traditions, forgot your birthday, and refuses to put out allergy-safe foods at family gatherings. This is Ella's story, and she's about to cut off her mother-in-law. So Ella has been married or with her husband for 3 years. They have a little baby, but looking back, she's like, man, I miss some big red flags. So right away, her future mother-in-law at the time was trying to push her out of, like their lives, basically keeping her at arm's length away, saying, well, you can't come to this event because it's technically, family only and you're not family. You can't be a part of this picture because you're not technically family. And she believed her. She's like, yeah, you're right. That's understandable. I'm not technically family. So she kept thinking, this is going to get better. Like once we're married, this will get better. But then there was this call where her mother-in-law was on the phone talking to her husband. Well, not really talking. She was sobbing, saying, I'm not going to lose you to her. I can't lose you to her. Like, your family's going to be so mad at you. To which Ella's like, maybe this is what it's like to be a mom and your child's growing up and it's really hard. So again, she gave her grace. But there was this party that Ella was included at, like non-family members could go to. And it was very clear the message they were trying to send, like the whole family, like, we don't want you here. So she goes to this party, and the theme is the grandparents buy everybody 3 gifts. Even other non-family members that have been a part of the family for a lot less time than Ella, they all got their 3 gifts. Like it's a gift card for $50, and it's a large gift and a small gift, and you sit in a circle, and these are all passed out. Ella, she got a $20 gift card. Not only that, when she shows up, the aunts all turn their back on her, like making sure that she knows like she's getting the cold shoulder. There was no food, even though she was promised that there'd be allergy safe food there. No food that she could eat. So she was, hungry, being excluded. No one's talking to her, feeling really uncomfortable. And she's like, it's not about the money. It was like the message they were trying to send me. It was so awful. But even after that, she pushed through. She tried to include her mother-in-law in dress shopping. She didn't want to be a part of it. Tried to include her for the bridal shower. Her husband had to force his family to go. Like on and on and on until she became pregnant. And that's when her mother-in-law was baffled that she wasn't her first call. Like her feelings were crushed. I can't believe you, Ella, that you wouldn't call me first to tell me you were pregnant. Like, oh, so that was confusing for Ella. She's like, what? Like, how could you expect I would call you before my parents, especially with the way you're treating me? But they kept moving. Once the baby was born, that is when Ella took a stand to her husband, and she's like, I request 2 things from you when your family comes to visit. First, don't let your mother say that the baby looks just like you. I'm just fragile right now and I can't handle it. So don't allow that. And second, you're my bouncer. So when I'm ready to take a nap, you have to kick everybody out. They agreed. Family came over, and it was like they had never had the talk. Right away, her mother-in-law's like, oh my gosh, he looks just like you. And honestly, nothing like you. So I just want to pause. I know as a person, I could probably say like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. He looks just like you. I could say something like that, but like I could never imagine then turning to the mother of the child and saying the extra, he looks nothing like you. Like that just to me seems like an extra knife twist. Like that was just so inappropriate. And then also like the bouncing didn't happen. He never asked his family to leave when Ella was tired. So she just kind of felt all alone. Then when their baby was 3 weeks old, they went to a family gathering after making sure everyone was healthy. The mother-in-law and brother-in-law were sick, got the baby sick. They never checked on the baby as like how he was recovering. 5 weeks old, they're going to have another gathering. So they made sure 2 times to ask in the family group text, are you sure everyone's healthy? Well, it was that second time, like how dare they ask again if people are healthy, that her mother-in-law left the group chat. Like the family group chat, she left it because she's like, how rude of you to ask me twice. They chose not to go to that event because they didn't get an answer. And a week later, they went to another event. The baby got RSV. I mean, it was just like a lack of consideration. Fast forward, it is Ella's birthday. She doesn't get a text from her mother-in-law, no acknowledgement. She still sends a birthday card, a really nice one, to her husband's grandma, to which when her mother-in-law found out it was her, she never acknowledged her action or nothing. So when it finally came time for her mother-in-law's birthday, Ella's like, I'm done. Like, I'm going to give you a taste of your own medicine. Like, I am not going to say happy birthday. So she didn't. But now her mother-in-law is like, since you didn't wish me happy birthday, you can't come to my party. And she's like, I'm done. I'm done, and I want to cut her off. So she's coming to us asking, what would you do if all this happened to you? How would you handle this? If you were asking me, Ella, first I want to say I'm so sorry all this happened to you. I can't imagine being at that party, walking in, having grown women turn their back on you in such a catty way, letting you know, like, we don't, the gossip is thick here, you're not welcome here, and then having all those gifts passed out and you're the only one that gets one gift card, like 1 out of 3 gifts, and it's less than the amount. Like, it's definitely a strong message. It's just so hurtful. All of it. I'm just so sorry. And I would pump the brakes. The way that you're sharing the story, it seems to me like you might not know what it's like to have a relationship with your mother-in-law or with your in-laws, having the full support of your husband. What I mean by that, it seems like he is caught between peacekeeping and partnership. And he's still trying to balance like loyalty and really like building a marriage with you, which is very normal, but he also needs to get there. And by the pressure that is being put on him, that phone call, if this were my husband, I know I've said this before, so this is probably redundant, but I would read the 2 books by Lindsay Gibson, Disentangling from Emotionally Immature Parents and Adult Children of Emotionally Immature Parents, as a couple. See how he can like just untether fully, embrace married life, embrace, his leadership role, being a husband, being a father, fully getting like autonomous from his parents, maybe add a licensed therapist if necessary. I mean, that's always helpful, I think, most of the time. That is what I would do. I would first see, like, can we get on the same page here where I feel fully protected by my husband, fully supported and protected, map out what boundaries look like, and then I would assess, do I need to cut her off or not? So I know that that's not a quick answer. It's a very long, drawn out process that you guys will have to go through, but I do believe it's important. It's necessary for all couples to, be a fully formed couple and be able to attach fully and not be one of you tethered still from your childhood family. Those are just my thoughts. What would you do?